Hello everyone, my name is Narendran. Today we are diving into a critical structural challenge facing our nation, a growing divide within our new Indian economy. While our headline growth numbers are the envy of the world, a closer look reveals a complex story of divergence that we must understand to ensure our future stability. This image perfectly encapsulates our current reality. India is undeniably becoming wealthier, but that wealth is concentrating at an unprecedented rate. According to the World Inequality Report of 2026, the top 10% of our population now captures 58% of the total national income. Meanwhile, the bottom 50%, half of our citizens, receive just 15%. Despite our history as a socialist democracy and the extensive welfare schemes, the economic situation for our most vulnerable sections has become increasingly dire. The data backs this up. Our real GDP growth rate for the second quarter of FY26 was an impressive 8.4%, exceeding most estimates. However, look at the distribution. The top 10% hold 58% of income and a staggering 65% of national wealth. In contrast, the bottom 50% hold only 6% of the wealth. Over the last decade, the income gap between these two groups has widened by another 0.2%, now standing at a massive 38.2%. Furthermore, female labor participation remains stagnant at just 15.7%. This brings us to the K-shaped economy. The upper arm is characterized by a surge in luxury consumption, from imported alcohol and SUVs to branded fashion, fueled by an e-retail boom. Yet the lower arm tells a different story. We see a decline in entry-level durables like two-wheelers, and the real estate market for low-end housing has shrunken significantly. Other critical indicators show that between 2018 and 2023, the manufacturing and service sectors have actually shrunken their share of employment, forcing labor back into agriculture. With real wages failing to keep up with inflation and household debt rising to 41% of GDP, much of our current consumption is unfortunately fueled by debt. To achieve the Viksit Bharat vision, the two arms of the K must converge. We must acknowledge that GDP alone is no longer sufficient metric to measure the true economic well-being of India. Interestingly, personal income tax has now exceeded corporate tax in its contribution to direct tax collection, and salaried classes facing the brunt of taxation. Given the extreme nature of this inequality, it may be time for us to consider radical policy shifts, such as reintroduction of wealth tax or inheritance tax, to ensure that the fruits of growth are shared by all. Some economists in the US have suggested a one-time wealth tax of 2% for the billionaire class, which might not be politically feasible in a country like US, but it might be something that India can consider. Thank you for your time.